Donald Trump has been kicked out of Australia. The shimmering skyline of Australia's Gold Coast was supposed to host a billion-dollar monument to the Trump legacy, a 91-story behemoth that would mark the family's grand entrance into the land down under. Instead, the project has collapsed into a heap of litigation, public vitriol, and political fallout, effectively kicking Donald Trump out of the country before a single foundation could be poured. Just months after Eric Trump took to social media to flaunt AI-generated images of a shimmering skyscraper, the venture has evaporated, leaving behind a toxic brand and a flurry of bitter finger-pointing. The developer behind the project, David Young, has made it clear that while a building may still rise on the site, it will absolutely not carry the Trump name. In Australia, that name has become a liability so heavy it threatened to sink the entire investment, particularly in the wake of the catastrophic conflict in Iran that has defined the current geopolitical landscape. This rejection was far from a quiet boardroom exit. It was a full-scale grassroots uprising. Almost immediately after the deal was announced in early 2026, the Australian public responded with a ferocity that caught the Trump organization off guard. Thousands of citizens rushed to sign petitions, and mass protests erupted in major cities, demanding that the government get this name out of Australia. This toxic label isn't just hyperbole from a disgruntled business partner. It is backed by cold, hard data. Polling from the Sydney Morning Herald recently found that Trump's popularity in Australia has plummeted to record lows. The shift in sentiment is so profound that many Australians now express more confidence in China than in a United States led by the current administration. A staggering turn of events for a long-standing ally. In typical fashion, the collapse of the deal has triggered a heated blame game between the former partners. David Young, the developer who initially championed the venture on LinkedIn, now points to Trump's unpopularity and the fallout from the war in Iran as the primary reasons for the project's demise. He claims the brand is simply too damaged to attract buyers or secure local support. On the other side, the Trump organization has fired back with a familiar defense, claiming the failure was strictly a matter of broken promises. According to Eric Trump, Young defaulted on his licensing obligations and failed to meet necessary financial commitments. They argue that he is using the toxicity of the Trump name as a convenient smokescreen for his own inability to fund such a massive development. As both sides retreat to their legal corners, the reality remains that the Trump family's attempt to plant a flag in Australia has been soundly rebuffed. This failure also reflects a significant political sea change within Australia. The recent electoral defeat of the Liberal Party, often mocked as Team MAGA due to its alignment with Trumpian rhetoric, marked a definitive turning point for the nation. Led by Peter Dutton, the right-wing party lost significant ground, including Dutton's own seat, while the Labour Party and Anthony Albanese secured a massive victory. Albanese's campaign leaned heavily into the promise of standing up to the Trump administration's influence, a message that clearly resonated with an electorate eager to distance itself from American-style populism. The protests that filled the streets in late 2025 were a clear precursor to this hotel's failure, showing a nation united in its desire to cut ties with the brand. Ultimately, the saga of the Gold Coast Trump Tower serves as a microcosm of the Trump organization's international struggles. While the family may have been very excited to bring a world-class development to Queensland, the Australian public had other ideas. The project, which followed the standard Trump model of licensing a name in exchange for fees rather than actual construction, hit a wall of public and political resistance that no amount of AI-generated marketing could overcome. As the litigation begins and the petitions continue to circulate, one thing is certain: Australia has sent a clear message that the Trump brand is no longer welcome on its shores. The skyscraper may still reach the clouds, but it will stand as a testament to a deal that fell apart under the sheer weight of its own name.